In the year 2187, Earth was a mere shadow of its former self. The once vibrant planet had been ravaged by centuries of war, pollution, and neglect, leaving its surface a barren, inhospitable wasteland. The remnants of humanity clung to survival in the decaying ruins of once great cities, their hopes for the future as bleak as the ashen skies above them. Amidst the despair, a glimmer of hope emerged, a mysterious signal from the depths of space, a promise of salvation from the stars. The message, garbled and encrypted, spoke of a distant world capable of sustaining human life, a new home for the weary survivors of Earth. Dr. Lena Novak, a brilliant astrophysicist, worked tirelessly to decipher the signal's origin and meaning. In the dimly lit confines of her makeshift laboratory, she pored over the data, her tired eyes fixed on the flickering screens. The weight of humanity's fate rested heavily upon her shoulders. As Lena unraveled the secrets of the signal, she encountered a chilling realization. The message was not a benevolent invitation, but a warning of an impending threat. An ancient, malevolent force stirred in the cosmos, its sights set on the vulnerable remnants of Earth. Faced with this terrifying revelation, Lena knew she had to act fast. She gathered a small, trusted team of scientists and engineers, determined to uncover the full extent of the danger and find a way to protect humanity. Together they embarked on a desperate race against time, knowing that failure would mean the end of everything they held dear. As Lena and her team delved deeper into the mysterious signal, they uncovered a chilling truth. The message originated from a long-forgotten alien civilization, a once mighty empire that had fallen victim to the same malevolent force now threatening Earth. The signal was a warning, a desperate plea for help from a dying race. Deciphering the alien language proved to be a daunting task, but Lena's brilliance and determination knew no bounds. She worked tirelessly, poring over ancient texts and fragmentary data, piecing together the puzzle one painstaking step at a time. With each breakthrough, the true nature of the impending danger became clearer, and the need for action grew more urgent. The malevolent force, an ancient entity of pure destruction, had consumed countless worlds in its insatiable hunger. It moved through the cosmos like a plague, draining the life force from every planet it encountered. The alien civilization had fought bravely but ultimately succumbed to the entity's power, leaving behind only the warning signal as their legacy. Lena's team worked feverishly to develop a plan to save humanity. They pored over the alien technology, reverse engineering advanced systems and weapons in a desperate attempt to bolster Earth's defenses. But even as they made progress, a creeping sense of dread filled the air. Time was running out, and the malevolent force drew ever closer. In a moment of grim realization, Lena understood that Earth's only hope lay in the stars. To survive, humanity would have to abandon their dying homeworld and embark on a perilous journey to find a new home. The very message that had promised salvation now became a guide, a cosmic map leading to a distant haven. But the journey would be fraught with danger, and there was no guarantee of success. Lena steeled herself for the monumental task ahead, knowing that the fate of her species hung in the balance. As the preparations for humanity's exodus began, Lena found herself at the center of a maelstrom of activity. She worked around the clock, coordinating the efforts of scientists, engineers, and leaders from across the globe. The task was monumental, but Lena's resolve never wavered. She knew that every moment counted, and that the fate of her species rested on her shoulders. The plan was audacious, bordering on the impossible. Lena and her team had devised a way to construct a massive, self-sustaining ark, a ship capable of carrying the last remnants of humanity to the stars. The vessel would be powered by the alien technology they had reverse-engineered, and would serve as a sanctuary for the chosen few who would carry on the legacy of Earth. As the ark took shape, rising from the ashes of the ruined world, tensions began to mount. The selection process for the ark's passengers was fraught with controversy and unrest. Some argued for a meritocracy, while others demanded a lottery system. Lena found herself at the center of the debate, struggling to balance the needs of the many against the harsh realities of their limited resources. Amidst the chaos, a shocking revelation emerged. A faction of the government, long thought to be extinct, had been secretly hoarding resources and technology. They had their own plan for survival, one that involved leaving the majority of humanity behind to perish on the dying Earth. Lena was horrified by the revelation and knew that she had to act fast to prevent this catastrophe. In a daring move, Lena and her team infiltrated the faction's stronghold, determined to expose their plan and secure the resources necessary for the Ark's completion. The battle was fierce, but Lena's resolve never wavered. She fought with the strength of someone who knew that the fate of her species hung in the balance. In the end, they emerged victorious, but the cost was high. The Ark was ready, but the time for departure was upon them. The final countdown had begun. As the final preparations for the Ark's departure were made, Lena found herself haunted by the weight of the decisions she had made. The Ark could only carry a fraction of Earth's remaining population, and choosing who would live and who would be left behind was a burden that weighed heavily on her soul. She spent long hours poring over the passenger manifest, agonizing over each name, each life that hung in the balance. The day of the launch arrived, and the world held its breath. Thousands gathered to watch as the Ark, a gleaming beacon of hope against the ashen sky, prepared to embark on its fateful journey. Lena stood at the base of the towering vessel, her heart racing as she watched the chosen few board the craft that would carry them to salvation. But even as the Ark lifted off, rising majestically into the sky on pillars of fire, Lena knew that their trials were far from over. The malevolent force that had consumed so many worlds was still out there, waiting in the vast emptiness of space. She knew that the Ark and its precious cargo would have to face unimaginable dangers on their journey to find a new home. As the Ark disappeared into the heavens, Lena turned her gaze back to the dying Earth. She thought of the billions left behind, the souls who would perish as their world crumbled around them. A sense of profound loss washed over her, mingled with a flicker of hope. The Ark carried with it the best of humanity, their knowledge, their culture, their indomitable spirit. They would find a way to survive, to build a new future among the stars. Lena watched until the Ark was nothing more than a glimmer in the sky, a tiny point of light against the vast cosmos. She knew that the journey ahead would be long and perilous, but she had faith in the strength and resilience of her species. They had endured so much, had risen from the ashes of their own destruction time and time again. As she turned her face towards the heavens, Lena whispered a silent prayer, a promise to those who had gone before and those who would come after. Humanity would find a way, they would survive, they would endure. Years turned into decades as the Ark ventured deeper into the uncharted reaches of space. Generations were born and died within its metal walls, their lives defined by the constant search for a new home. Lena's legacy lived on through the descendants of those she had saved, the inheritors of her indomitable spirit and unwavering determination. As the Ark approached its final destination, a sense of trepidation filled the air. The planet that loomed before them was a lush, verdant world, a paradise seemingly untouched by the ravages of time. But Lena's descendants knew better than to trust appearances. They had learned the hard way that danger often lurked beneath the most beautiful of surfaces. As the Ark entered orbit, a chilling realization swept through the crew. The planet was not as untouched as it seemed. Beneath the vibrant greens and deep blues of its surface, a familiar pattern emerged, the telltale signs of the malevolent force that had consumed Earth and countless other worlds. The entity had beaten them to their new home, lying dormant and waiting for its next victim. Faced with an impossible choice, the leaders of the Ark gathered to decide their fate. Some argued for a hasty retreat, for seeking out another world and continuing their desperate search for salvation. Others, driven by the weight of generations spent wandering the stars, demanded they stand their ground and fight for the planet that could be their final hope. In the end, It was Lena's memory that guided them. They would not flee. They would not succumb to the same fate as those who had come before. Armed with the knowledge and technology of their ancestors, the descendants of Earth's last survivors prepared for the battle of their lives. They would face the malevolent entity head-on, pitting their resolve and ingenuity against its ancient, destructive power. The fate of humanity, the fate of all life, hung in the balance. In that moment, as the Ark descended towards the planet's surface and the crew prepared for the fight to come, they knew that they carried with them the hopes and dreams of 1,000 generations. They were the last of Earth's children, and they would not go quietly into the night. They would rage, they would fight, and they would triumph for the sake of all those who had come before and all those who would come after. This was their legacy, their requiem for Earth.